This is my friend Margaret Miller, and one of the most interesting things about Margaret is she is a dancer. And not just a dancer, a coach of dancers. And we were talking about this dance that she and her team from Mahomet have been performing, and it is about fear. And so last week I'm like, Margaret, can we get your girls to come and do the dance? And I'm sorry to say it didn't work out, but we have the video to show you. But I think the dance is even cooler when you know the story behind it.
Yeah.
So Margaret agreed that she would tell us the story about the dance about fear.
Okay.
So I'll let you take it from there.
Hi, my name is Margaret Miller, and I am the high school dance team coach at MAHOMET.SEYMOUR High School. And this has been an incredible season for us because of some things that God has done through us. I usually let my seniors help me pick music for competition pieces. And I have an incredible group of girls, but I have a very mature, great head on their shoulders group of seniors. And so I had them over for dinner, and we were going to talk about music, and they had this idea that they just could not let go of. They saw a video on YouTube. It's actually, I want to describe it as like a 7-minute sermon series of different things like that from this man named John Jorgensen, who works with the Animus series. You should check it out online, it's really cool. And they found one of his videos on fear and absolutely loved it. And they were like, Coach, we could dance to this. We could put movement to this, and it could be so cool. And I agreed with them that it could be so cool, but I also know that it'd be really difficult and a big challenge. And we were listening to other things, and that just kept being the one. We want to do this, we want to do this. And so I said, okay, I think it'd be great, but here's some things that are probably going to hold us back. Number one, the video was 3.5 minutes, and our competition routines can only be 3 minutes, so we'd have to cut some. Number two, I hate to say this, but it openly speaks about God, and we're a public school, so we're not really supposed to do that. And number three, if we cut the music, then, or the speech, I guess, then we would have to have the original vocal track, because in the YouTube video, there's some music in the background. So if we cut things out, it'd be like, la la la, la la la. So, so we would have to have the original vocals in order to cut it and it sound okay. And then the fourth thing was, well, actually there are a lot of things. The fourth thing was if we took it from YouTube, even if we had both, it would sound really terrible when it's configured for a loudspeaker. And then it is someone else's words and someone else's beautiful speech and not ours, and so we would have to have permission to cut it. So I'm telling the girls these things, and they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, well, so like, can we do it? And I said, well, yes, but the only way we can do it is if we get a hold of this John Jorgensen and we get the original vocals and we have his permission to cut it. And they're looking at me a little defeated. And they're like, and I said, or, we could write our own if you really want to do something like this. We could not do the same one, but write something like it. And they wanted to do something like this so badly that they were like, okay, like maybe we should do that. And so then it kind of got to, maybe you should do that, Coach. You're really good at these kind of things. But I love them to death, and if that's what they want to do, then that's what we're going to do. So I was preparing to write a speech to vocals, and that was a daunting task for me.
That you ultimately didn't do.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I did not do that because I was starting to figure out how I was going to do that, and it was getting very overwhelming. And I just prayed and I said, God, they want to do this, and I want to do this with them because what high school group of girls is so dead set on telling a story that you want to tell? And I can't do this. I really need your help. If you want this to happen, then just make it happen. And the next day, if you don't know many high school girls right now, one thing to know about them is they're very creepy on the internet. And yeah, and so one of my seniors said, oh my goodness, coach, I found John Jorgensen's Gmail address, his personal Gmail address. And I was like, you did? Okay, well, and I said, you know what, if we found a way to contact him, I would do it. So I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be a long shot, but I'm just going to tell him what's going on. So I type out everything, who we are, what we're hoping for, yada, yada, yada. And ask for his permission to use his piece, to cut his piece, and for the original vocals. Big, long shot. And I thought, okay, send, never going to hear from this guy, but hey, at least I can tell him I did it. And the next day, I was getting ready to leave for Florida with some girls from Bible study. And if you don't know me, I'm a workaholic. And so I told myself that I'm not going to work over this trip. It's going to be relaxing. So I was in the airport, and I said, I'm going to check my email one more time. And I wasn't even thinking about John at all, and because I didn't think it was going to happen. And then I'm going to put it away, and I'm not going to look at it. And I got on my email, and the first one I saw was John Jorgensen. And I was like, what? I'm like, he got back to me? What? I thought, he probably gets tons of emails. He's going to just delete it. And so I opened it, and not only did he get back to me, but he said, I cannot imagine my speech being put to movement. That's so cool. I love that your girls want to do this. I love that you want to take this. It sounds challenging. I love it. He's like, here's the original vocals. You have my permission. Please send me a video when you're done. And I thought, oh, okay. We're meant to do this. This is going to be a challenge, but we're going to do it. And I was so excited. The girls could definitely be attest to that. And I was elated. Anywho, so we had it. I cut it. It worked perfectly for 2 minutes and I think 55 seconds. And the speech still made sense with things cut out. But then we ran into another problem. The video online has music to the background, and we really, really liked the second song. The first part of the speech is all about fear, and how fear holds you back, and how it holds you down, and really, depresses you. And the second part of the speech is it's basically talking about finding Jesus and how that can totally change your life, and how when you eliminate fear and put in love instead, how it can completely change your life, and you can make a huge difference. And there's beautiful music in the background that we really wanted to use. And we could not figure it out. We were trying to Shazam it. We were trying to look it up on the internet. We could not figure it out. So finally, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be really annoying now, and I'm gonna ask him if he can tell me what the name of the song is. So I emailed again. Hey, it's me. We just love that music in the background. Could you please tell me what it is? I just can't figure it out. And he said, he got back to me right away. Also crazy, and he said, hey, isn't it beautiful? It was written specifically for the video by a freelance composer, and unfortunately, we're not working with him anymore, and I don't have rights to the track, so I can't give it to you. And so I thought, okay, well, thank you. So I told the girls, and they're like, So we were searching and searching and searching for music to put in the background, and it sounds like it'd be something easy to do, but it just wasn't. We could not find something that worked. And so it was, again, getting really frustrating. We weren't agreeing on it, and I prayed again. I said, God, you are making this happen, and here we are with a little bump in the road, and I don't know what to do. Just please let me find the music that you want to go with this, that it will work well. And the next day, I kid you not, one of my creepy high schoolers said, Coach, guess what? And I said, what? And she said, I found the Freelance Composers Google Plus page. And I was like, first of all, what's a Google Plus page? And then I said, you're kidding me? And she said, no. And guess what happened? And I said, what? And she said, I commented on something and explained our story. And the next day, he got back to her and said, wow, kudos to you for being very determined in finding me. He agrees with me. And second of all, God must really want you to do this and really want you to have this music, because I didn't even really remember I had this thing. I just was on my computer today and thought, oh, Google Plus, I forgot I had that. And of all the comments on there, I looked at yours and said, here's the track, here's my permission to cut it, send me a video. And we were just in awe. We were like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. And moving on, the choreography probably took 2 to 3 times as long as it normally does. And competition choreography takes a very, very long time to come up with, to teach the girls, to make it look really good in unison, and this took much longer. And it took longer because we were so invested in this. And we wanted this, every single movement, to have meaning, to not just be filler, because this message really means a lot to my girls and I, and we're so honored to be able to dance to it and share it with other people. And the whole first part of the dance does not have any music to it. It's only words, and it's hard enough to try to get a group of 14 high schoolers to be completely in unison to music, and when you add in no counts and silence, it was very difficult, but they were absolutely determined to make it as great as possible.
So kind of your whole goal was to share this message with the state of Illinois, essentially.
Right. So I was so proud of them that they wanted to share something like this, and do it in front of high school basketball games, to go do it at a competition, and they were not afraid at all. That was the goal. And as the season went on, it just became more and more important to us to share it, and more valuable to us. And so as the competition season came to a close, we obviously wanted to go to state. Who doesn't? But beyond that, we were like, we just really want to be able to share this with a whole arena of people. How cool would it be to be able to share this with an arena of people?
So then can you jump to that morning? Because they made it to state.
Yes, we made it to state, and we got to share it with an arena, and we actually won state last year. And after we won state, one of the video of the dance was posted on YouTube, and so that's a little background information for what happened the morning of finals. We made it to finals. In the morning of finals, I woke up and I was doing my study, which happened to be about fear. Weird. God weird. And I was doing it, and all of a sudden, I really honestly think the voice of God said to me, I'm going to win today. And at first I thought it was me. And I was like, Margaret, whoa, calm down. Let's not be overconfident. And the voice said, no, it's not you. It's me. I'm going to win today. And I was kind of like, I was literally shaking. And that's how I knew it had to have been God. And the voice told me to get on YouTube and look at the video from last year. And I'm like, what? Okay. So I looked at the video, and I noticed that the video from when we won last year had 3,700 something views. And immediately I kind of got it. I was like, oh, wow, you know, we won, and then people wanted to see this dance, and so maybe we will win today, because then more people are going to want to see this dance. And then God said to me, my glory is bigger than an arena, Margaret. And we didn't win state. We actually got 8th. But that video was posted by a parent on Sunday night, and it is now Wednesday, and it has almost 100,000 views.
Awesome.
And I don't have Facebook, so I didn't even know Sunday when it was posted, and one of the girls, a couple of them actually, texted me and said, Coach, our video, Mrs. Sylvie, put it on Facebook, and it has almost 4,000 views. And I was frozen, because all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, that voice wasn't me, that was God. He did win, because a whole year went by, and our state championship got 3,700 something views. But this dance was for God's glory, not ours. And it already had more than that. And he was like, oh, girlfriend, my glory is so much bigger than an arena. And this is not yours, it's mine. 100,000 views. It's a high school dance team.
So would you like to see it? So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
So I'm guessing some of you are part of the 100,000, but it is so good. You can watch it like 1,000,000 times, I think. So we're going to scoot off, and then you guys can watch Margaret's team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for your MAHOMET.SEYMOUR dance team.
I used to be afraid of tomorrow. Afraid that who I was would continually dictate who I am, and that who I would be might be someone who I didn't like very much at all. As if there was no such thing as being made new. I used to be afraid of opinions. Afraid that though words could not break my bones, they certainly would shatter my dreams. As though I started doing this for the approval of many rather than the glory of one. I used to be afraid of failure. Afraid of losing. Afraid of falling. Afraid of being wrong. Creating busts and looking absolutely stupid, because who am I to even try and make a difference? As if those setbacks were anything more than the laying down of stepping stones on the road to success. I used to be afraid. Then I did a little And by that I mean that I researched and researched and researched over and over again. And through all of my researching, I kept coming up with the same exact question. What room does fear have? What room does fear have when I lean on hope? What room does fear have when I search for something more? When I realize what's good and I stand in awe? When I run with perseverance? When I walk by faith and when I rest in comfort? What room does fear have when I sing with praise? When I take hold of inspiration, explore possibility, and step into freedom? What room does fear have when I discover strength? Embrace courage, remember peace, declare truth, choose joy, experience life, and conquer death? What room does fear have when I find perfection in the one place I never thought to look, in weakness? I'll ask you again, what room does fear have when I step out of the darkness and I bask in the light? When I let the past be the past and the future has no limit, when they can talk all they want, but their opinion doesn't matter, when failure is nothing more and nothing less than the road by which I walk my path to success. I'll ask you one last time, what room does fear have when I make room for love? What are you afraid of?